Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I'm Jason, your host. My first video of the day is not a very pleasant one, but it's got to be said. Today is probably going to be Bertie's last day. Those that were on my stream last night noticed I should cut it short, and it because I noticed on the camera that Bertie was trying to get out of the bed that he was lying in, and his back legs were basically couldn't hold him. He did manage to get out, but he was very unsteady and wobbly. He's been dealing with some problems this month. Up to yesterday, he wasn't in pain, and that's what matters to me. He had started spending a lot of time outside barking at nothing, things that I couldn't see. You know, he'd just walk up to a fence and bark in a corner, or he'd walk over to a part of the backyard and just stop barking for no reason. I mean, Bertie has never been a barker. This is a complete change of mental state when he's out there. We think it's definitely the onset of canine dementia, basically, which can happen. Remember, he's 17 years old, which is it's a really, really good age for a staffy. It's crazy how well he's lived, but he's been very, very well looked after. We had him as once again as a rescue dog from Animal Lifeline. He was about 6 or 7 years old when we had him, between 6 and 7, and he was a dog that nobody wanted because he's one of those dogs that doesn't have much situational awareness. Some dogs are very aware of themselves and other people around them. Bertie not so much. If he wants to go from A to B, it doesn't matter what's in between A and B. He just goes in a straight line. He's wonderful. I thought I'd show you a video of him in his prime, basically. Now, when we lived in the other house, Bertie liked to sleep downstairs, and he liked to sleep on the actual bed there. He'd wait till me and Beryl would go upstairs, and then by the morning I'd find him wrapped in the cover that covered the sofa, and people thought that I put the blanket over him. People thought that I did that. So one night I set up the camera and I just pressed record on it before I went to bed, and just left the light on in the room so there was light for the camera. And I'll just show you. So I'll just play this for you while we talk. And he's always like his comfort. He'd always like to. So this was about 2 a.m. in the morning, once me and Beryl had gone to bed upstairs. And this is what Bertie usually did. And we would always find him in the same position in the morning when I came down. He's been an amazing dog, he really has. I'm going to just turn down the sound. Well, no, I'll leave the sound going for him. And so basically, he likes to make himself comfortable and sleep under the covers. Every single morning, I'd come downstairs to the covers pulled out from the thing. It's not like I left them in a way for it was easy for him. It just, he always decided, this is how I want to sleep. this is what I want to do. So he'd go round and round and figure himself out and make himself comfortable. He's had a very good life. He's the last dog that me and Paola had together. But yeah, as a rescue dog, we gave him a home because that's what we do. I always take on dogs that are like 6 or 7 years old that most people don't want. It's crazy to me that they don't want them, but most people want a puppy or something cute and that. They don't want the big dog. They don't want the dog that isn't going to play nice with children. They don't want the dog that's going to be a bit boisterous. So I always like to give the dog that's a bit boisterous a place and a home. And they are loved and cared for. But and that's where he would sleep during the night. And that's how I'd find him in the morning. He can't climb the stairs without me behind him lifting his back legs. He doesn't cry. When he's in pain, he sort of barks. He has a very short bark that if he does something that hurts him, that he uses. And when he tries to get on the bed now, even with my help, or on the sofa or anything like that, that bothers him. He's losing control of his bodily functions. He pees wherever he is. And that. Just little bits here and there. It's like he forgets that he's inside. And just seeing him trying to get up, and there's nothing stabilising his back end now. His back end is pretty much, he can still walk around, but you can tell with a dog when their back end's about to go. And I don't want to put him through anything else. And at his age, I don't want to put him through any medication or anything like that. There's no point at his age. I love him and would love him to stay, but I'm not going to put him through anything like that. Apart from the basic of trying to lubricate his joints with cod liver oil type thing. It's going to wreck me. My vet is a very good vet. They'll come in and they'll give him and check him over and let me know what they think honestly. I've had dogs long enough to know when it's time for a dog. Seems only yesterday that Beryl passed away. It sucks. It really does. They're part of the family, they are. When my wife first met me, she had been brought up in a household where she was never allowed to have pets. Had never had a dog, a cat, or anything. And when we first met me, and we had a dog called Zoe at the time, I said to her, and it caused a bit of quite a heated discussion between me and Paola. I was saying, if there was a stranger in my house and the house caught fire, I'd save the dog first. And she was like, but they're human and that's a dog. By the time Zoe passed away, Paola understood how amazing pets are, how accepting and loving, and they give a pure kind of love that humans don't. And it doesn't matter what society thinks of you, how bad your day is, or what's going on in your life, or how much money you have. That dog will love you unconditionally. And in fact, I can treat dogs better than I can treat a human. And why is that? Because, as you know, with my mum's dementia, I wasn't allowed to help her to pass away before, and it was really drawn out and disturbing. At least with a dog, I can make a decision. I can make the final decision. And it's about, I know some people find it very hard, but I have never, ever took a dog to a vet to be put down. I've always paid extra for a vet to come out, because I think the last moments of a loved pet should be unless it's for a medical emergency, unless there's no other choice, should be in its home. And I know it's hard. I know it's fucking hard. I know it's the hardest thing you'll have to do as a pet owner, is to actually be there. But I could not leave my dog with strangers and abandon the dog at its last few moments just because it's going to fuck me up. That dog has given its all to me all through its life, and I did it, and it deserves to have the same given in return. So just like with every pet, I will hold Bertie in my arms and tell him how much I love him. And I will stroke him while they're giving him the injection. And it will tear me apart. But I'll do it. Because if I can't, then I shouldn't have a pet. I don't deserve the love they give me. I don't deserve the acceptance that I get if I can't do that for them. Anyway, I've got one other video I wanted to do after this. So, bye-bye for now.